Get ready for a wild ride in this video. We're diving into 5 jaw-dropping, real-life stories of performers who actually died on stage. Yep, you read that right. These tragic and shocking moments happened right in front of live audiences. These aren't just freak accidents, they're eerie reminders of how life can take a sudden, unexpected turn even in the middle of the spotlight. In April 2016, in a small village in West Java, Indonesia, Irma Boule took the stage for what would become her final performance. At just 29 years old, she was a mother of 3 and a rising star in the world of dangdut, a popular genre of Indonesian music. Known for her daring stage presence and unique performances, Irma had gained fame for dancing with live snakes. It was this dangerous gimmick that helped her stand out in a competitive music scene. But on this night, the danger became all too real. For this performance, Irma brought out a king cobra named Rianti, one of the deadliest snakes in the world. King cobras are the longest venomous snakes, growing up to 18 feet long, and their venom is powerful enough to kill an elephant. Making things even more dangerous, Rianti had not been defanged, and its mouth wasn't taped shut. This meant the snake's lethal bite was fully active, and the risk Irma took that night was greater than ever before. Despite the obvious danger, Irma had grown used to performing with snakes. She often danced with non-venomous pythons whose mouths were taped shut for safety. But this time she was handling a fully venomous king cobra without any such precautions. Why take such a risk? In the world of dangdut, performers from small towns and modest backgrounds needed every edge they could get to stand out. A typical gig paid around $20, but including a live snake could increase that to $25, a small yet meaningful boost for someone supporting a family. As the show kicked off, the crowd was captivated. Irma sang and danced with Rianti draped around her shoulders, delivering the electrifying performance she was known for. But then, disaster struck. During her second song, Irma accidentally stepped on the snake's tail. Rianti reacted instantly, striking her on the thigh with its venomous fangs. The audience gasped as Irma flinched from the sudden bite, the pain evident on her face. A snake handler rushed onto the stage, removed Rianti, and offered Irma an antidote for the venom. But Irma, ever the professional, refused the antidote and insisted on finishing her set. Despite the excruciating pain and the venom coursing through her body, she kept singing for another 45 minutes. At first, she seemed to hold it together, but the symptoms soon became impossible to ignore. She began vomiting and convulsing, the neurotoxins attacking her nervous system, yet she kept pushing forward. As the performance went on, her condition worsened. Her movements became unsteady, her body seizing up as the venom spread. Finally, after nearly an hour of battling through the agony, she collapsed on stage. The music stopped. The crowd fell silent. Crew members and the snake handler rushed to her side, trying desperately to save her. They administered first aid and transported her to the nearest hospital, but it was too late. By the time they arrived, the venom had taken its toll. Irma was pronounced dead shortly after. News of her tragic death spread quickly, shocking the local community and making headlines across Indonesia and beyond. The story grew even more heartbreaking when Irma's mother, Enkum, revealed that her daughter might not have known the snake was venomous. According to Enkum, Irma believed the snake's mouth would be taped shut, like the others she had performed with before. This revelation added an extra layer of tragedy to an already devastating story. Speculation about why Irma performed with snakes followed. Some believed it wasn't just for show, it might have been for protection. Dangdut performances often attracted rowdy crowds, and female singers sometimes faced harassment from audience members. Indonesian journalist Maid Supriyatma suggested that Irma may have used the snakes to prevent unwanted advances. In a cruel twist of fate, the very thing she used for safety ultimately led to her untimely death. Irma Boule's final performance became a chilling reminder of the extreme risks some artists take for their craft and the dangers they face just trying to make a living. Leslie Cameron Harvey's life was a mix of incredible talent, rock and roll dreams, and heartbreaking tragedy. Born on September 13, 1944, in Glasgow, Scotland, Leslie seemed destined for music. With his older brother Alex Harvey already making waves as a musician, Leslie's path to rock stardom felt inevitable. Music wasn't just a hobby, it was in his blood. And let's be honest, when your big brother's in a band, how could you not want to grab a guitar and join in? Leslie's guitar skills were no joke. The guy was so good that The Animals, a massively popular band at the time, wanted him to join their lineup. But Leslie stayed loyal to his brother's band, the Alex Harvey Soul Band. He later joined the Blues Council, another Scottish band making moves in the music scene. Sadly, in 1965, tragedy struck when the band's tour van crashed, claiming the lives of 2 members and leading to the group's breakup. But Leslie didn't let that stop him. By 1969, he joined Cartoon, a band that opened for legends like Led Zeppelin and Spirit on their US tour. Imagine playing your guitar while Led Zeppelin waits in the wings. Talk about pressure. Leslie even played on a solo album by Maurice Gibb of the Bee Gees, though most of that music never saw the light of day. Later that same year, Leslie co-founded the band Stone the Crows, and things really started to take off. Managed by Peter Grant, the same powerhouse manager behind Led Zeppelin, the band quickly gained a following. And Leslie's guitar playing, it was electric, pun intended. His unique sound and skill became a signature part of the band's identity. But on May 3, 1972, everything changed. Leslie was performing with Stone the Crows at the Top Rank Suite in Swansea, Wales, when a freak accident happened. Mid-performance, he reached for a microphone that hadn't been properly grounded, and with his guitar still in hand, he unknowingly completed a fatal electrical circuit. In an instant, a surge of electricity passed through his body. Despite the crew's desperate attempts to save him and the swift arrival of an ambulance, Leslie was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. He was only 27. The music world was rocked by his sudden death. Leslie's incredible talent and promise were gone far too soon. But his tragic accident wasn't just a moment of mourning. It became a wake-up call. The music industry started taking electrical safety much more seriously, leading to stricter venue safety measures and better equipment standards. For Leslie's family and bandmates, the loss was devastating. His brother Alex kept making music, but the weight of that grief was heavy. And Stone the Crows? They tried to keep going, but without Leslie's magic on the guitar, it just wasn't the same. Eventually, the band disbanded, their sound forever missing the heart and soul Leslie brought to it. Leslie Harvey's story is one of raw talent, loyalty, and tragic loss, but his legacy lives on, not just in the music he made, but in the safety measures that protect performers today. On June 29, 2013, the lights were bright, the crowd was buzzing, and Cirque du Soleil's K.A. was in full swing at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The audience was hooked, the stunts were jaw-dropping, and the choreography was pure magic. Among the stars of the show was Sarah Guyard-Guillot, a 31-year-old acrobat and aerialist with over 2 decades of experience. Sarah wasn't just a performer, she was a mentor, a teacher, and a beloved part of the Cirque family. Originally from Paris, she had been with Kay since 2006 and was known for her dedication and kindness. Offstage, she taught young performers and inspired those around her with her passion and skill. As the show reached its climactic final scene, the performers prepared for a daring battle on a vertical stage, a sequence requiring precision, strength, and total trust in their safety equipment. Sarah was lifted into the air, ready for her part in the act, but then something went horribly wrong. The wire rope holding her suddenly snapped, and she fell nearly 100 feet into a pit below the stage, out of the audience's view. At first, many thought the fall was part of the performance. Cirque du Soleil is known for its dramatic stunts, but the sound of Sarah's screams and the shocked reactions of her fellow performers quickly made it clear that this was no act. The show was immediately stopped, and an announcement was made that the performance had been canceled. Audience members were offered refunds or vouchers, but the mood had shifted from excitement to heartbreak. Sarah was rushed to the hospital, but tragically she was pronounced dead at 11:43 p.m. It was the first on-stage fatality in Cirque du Soleil's 30-year history, a devastating milestone that shook the entire entertainment community. In the days following the accident, Cirque du Soleil's founder, Guy Laliberté, expressed deep sorrow, calling Sarah's death an unimaginable loss. He praised her extraordinary talent and dedication, and the company suspended KA immediately as investigations began. The Nevada Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, was called in to determine what had caused the accident, and their findings were both heartbreaking and alarming. The investigation revealed a combination of insufficient training and faulty safety equipment. The wire rope that was supposed to keep Sarah safe snapped because it slipped out of a pulley and scraped against a sharp edge. The speed of her ascent caused the rope to wear down and break, a tragic mechanical failure. OSHA cited multiple safety violations and issued more than $25,000 in fines to Cirque du Soleil. The MGM Grand, where the show took place, was also fined $7,000 for exposing its employees to hazardous working conditions. Sarah's death sent shockwaves through the Cirque du Soleil family and the broader performing arts community. Colleagues, students, and fans mourned her loss, sharing memories and tributes on social media. As a mother of 2 young children and a dedicated teacher at CirqueFit, a Las Vegas-based circus and fitness program, Sarah had touched countless lives. Her students and their families spoke of her kindness, patience, and unwavering support. In response to the tragedy, Cirque du Soleil undertook a comprehensive review of its safety protocols. The company committed to improving equipment maintenance, enhancing performer training, and ensuring the highest safety standards. KA resumed performances on July 16, 2013, with the first show dedicated to Sarah's memory, a powerful tribute to a remarkable performer. Sarah's accident drew attention to the broader safety issues in high-risk live performances. While her death was the most severe in Cirque du Soleil's history, it wasn't the first. In 2007, 2 performers were seriously injured during a performance of Zumanity, and in 2009, an acrobat died during a training session in Montreal. These incidents highlighted the dangers of pushing the boundaries of live entertainment and the importance of prioritizing safety. On April 15, 1984, British comedy lost one of its most beloved and unforgettable stars, Tommy Cooper. Standing at an impressive 6 feet 4 inches and always sporting his iconic red fez, Tommy was a Welsh comedian and magician famous for turning magic tricks into comedy gold. His unique style, failing at magic so spectacularly that the failure itself became the joke. Audiences loved him because no matter how chaotic his act got, you always ended up in stitches. That night, Tommy was performing live at Her Majesty's Theatre in London on the hugely popular TV show Live from Her Majesty's. He'd been on countless shows like this over his long and successful career, and the audience couldn't wait for the laughter they knew was coming. The show kicked off, and Tommy took the stage for one of his classic routines involving a giant magic cloak. With his assistant helping him into the oversized garment and host Jimmy Tarbuck handing him increasingly ridiculous props from behind the curtain, the act was pure Tommy Cooper. Silly, unpredictable, and side-splittingly funny. As the props got bigger and the laughs got louder, everything seemed perfectly in place for another unforgettable performance. But then, something no one expected happened. In the middle of the act, Tommy suddenly dropped to his knees. The audience, used to his physical comedy and over-the-top antics, roared with laughter, thinking it was just another brilliant part of the routine. But as the seconds ticked by and Tommy didn't get back up, the mood started to shift. Behind the curtain, Jimmy Tarbuck realized something was wrong. Tommy had slumped forward against the stage curtains, his body limp. At first, even the crew thought it might be part of the act. After all, this was Tommy Cooper, the master of comedic chaos. But the reality soon became clear. This was no joke. In a quick decision, the show's director cut to an unscheduled commercial break, a move that signaled the seriousness of the situation. Backstage, the crew rushed to Tommy's side, desperately trying to help him. His son, also backstage, confirmed their worst fears. Tommy had a bad back, and he'd never collapse like this unless something was terribly wrong. As medics tried to revive him, the show's producer, David Bell, faced an impossible choice. With millions of viewers watching live, should they cancel the broadcast or keep going? After a quick discussion, they decided the show must go on. The comedy duo Les Denny and Dustin G were sent out to perform. They squeezed their routine into the limited stage space while Tommy's unmoving body remained hidden just feet away behind the curtain. The audience, still unaware of the tragedy unfolding, kept laughing, not knowing that the man they'd come to see was fighting for his life. When Dennis and G finished their set, the curtain was carefully removed, and Tommy was quietly taken out of the theater on a stretcher. He was rushed to Westminster Hospital, but it was too late. Tommy Cooper was pronounced dead on arrival, the result of a massive heart attack. Though the official announcement of his death wouldn't come until the following day, word spread quickly. The world of comedy was in shock. In the days that followed, debates flared over the decision to continue the show after Tommy's collapse. Some felt it was disrespectful, believing the performance should have stopped the moment it became clear something was wrong. Others argued that continuing the show was exactly what Tommy would have wanted. After all, he'd dedicated his life to making people laugh, and in a bittersweet way, his final moments kept the laughter going. It was a night meant for music and good vibes. July 13th, 2024. In the beach town of Salinopolis, Pará, Brazil. The stage at the Solar Hotel was set, the crowd was hyped, and Aris Sasaki, a 35-year-old rock singer/architect, was ready to bring the house down. Yeah, you heard that right. Not only could this guy design a killer building, but he could also rock your socks off. Since 2017, Aris had been touring across Pará, winning hearts and building a hardcore fan base. But on this night, things took a tragic and unexpected turn. Mid-performance, when the crowd was going wild, a soaking wet fan. Why they were dripping, nobody knows. Maybe they took the stay hydrated message too far. Jumped on stage and hugged Aris. Cute, right? Well, not so much. That hug somehow messed with a nearby cable, leading to an electric shock that proved fatal for Aris. Efforts to save him didn't work, and what started as an epic concert turned into a nightmare. Aris was originally from Belém, the capital of Pará, and he had worked hard to make a name for himself in the music scene. The dude even opened for the legendary São Paulo hardcore band CPM 22 in 2021. How cool is that? But music wasn't just a job for Aris, it was his passion, one he shared with his fans, friends, and his wife, Mariana. The two had only been married for 11 months before this tragedy struck. Mariana, a nurse, was always Aris's rock, supporting him every step of the way. In October 2023, Aris posted a beautiful wedding video with the caption, "Eternity awaits us, my love." Now, that message stands as a heartbreaking reminder of their short but sweet time together. After the incident, local police and the civil police of Pará launched an investigation to figure out what exactly happened. While the cause of death was clear, electrocution, the whole wet fan on stage situation raised more questions than answers. Witnesses gave statements, experts examined the scene, and the Solar Hotel issued a statement expressing deep regret and promising to support Aris's family and cooperate fully with the investigation. The Brazilian music community was devastated. Tributes poured in from all corners. Adriano Freitas, a close friend and fellow singer, described Aris as a super charismatic guy with insane talent. So much so that he once played a 12-hour concert because the fans just couldn't get enough of him. Comedian Nato Almeida, who had shared the stage with Aris, remembered him for his kindness, incredible stage presence, and genuinely good heart. Even filmmaker Rafael Masso shared his love for Aris on Instagram, reflecting on their college days and the countless memories they made together. "It's still hard to believe," Masso wrote. "We all loved Aris, and I'm grateful to have been part of his journey." Fans took to social media to express their grief. "Rest in peace, Aris. Gone too soon. Sending love and prayers to his family," one wrote. Another commented, "Your music will live on forever. Peace and love."